So let's have a look at a few definitions of confidence. There's a brilliant psychologist called Richard Petty, and the way he described confidence was the stuff that turns thoughts into action based on the belief in one's ability to do something or succeed. So what he brings into that discussion is more about action, and that's a really important point when we're thinking about confidence. Grounding in your true self, integrating your internal and external authenticity, and letting go of effort. And this is such a wonderful permission to be yourself. In fact, confidence isn't about trying to be someone else. It's about letting go of stress, of overanalyzing, of pretense, of failure, trying things and it being okay to fail. So when we have this kind of response, this kind of survival response, our brain is focused on threat and it won't be operating at its best. The outcome of that is that we have higher stress levels. There is less innovation because you're not using that front part of your brain, which is all about problem solving and creativity. A researcher at Harvard called Sean Achor found that actually your brain at positive is 31% more productive than at negative, neutral, or stressed. The definition of a value is a trait or a quality that represents your highest priorities, deeply held beliefs, and core fundamental driving forces. Imagine them like building blocks within you. They're things which are your absolute foundation. So what does your inner critic do? It commands you and say things like you should stop acting like a fool. And it also judges you as well. Now, imposter syndrome has a number of different features to it, which are really important to understand. It is different to self-doubt, because imposter syndrome is at an identity level. It goes much deeper. Now, this is a really interesting concept, which is really important to understand in terms of how we take on feedback and how we deal with conflict and how we can do that in a way that boosts our confidence. What would be something that would really push you and really excite you? What would you do if you weren't afraid? And actually, when you work through that process of managing those fears, it really does break it down. Remember our negativity bias, remembering how our brain is going to be responding to lack of control or perceived uncertainty. When you are outside of your comfort zone, this is where the magic happens. And you know what? When you're outside of your comfort zone, when you push yourself, that is when your confidence grows. So every time you take one of those small steps, you are growing in confidence.